Hello, this is Mr. Lowry. Today's objective is 3.12b. We will compose informational text, including brief compositions that convey information about a topic by using a clear central idea and genre characteristics and craft. So we're going to read an informational article about bats. And when you're done, I'm going to ask that you just type facts in these boxes. Complete sentences, please. But facts that you learn from either the article or there's also going to be a video that I will have in the Google Classroom for you to watch about bats. So the first thing I want to do is go over some vocabulary about bats that's going to be in the article. One of them is ecosystem. When we're talking about an ecosystem, it's all the living things and non-living things in an environment. The author in the text will talk about how bats are important to their ecosystem. When you talk about ecosystem, like this picture is showing a marine ecosystem, all of the animals and plants that live there rely on one another, and they work in a system together. So that's what ecosystem is. Echolocation is the locating of objects by reflecting sound. The bats make a very high-pitched sound that people cannot hear, and then it bounces off of things and helps it create sort of a map in its head so that it can find the things that it's trying to eat, bugs and whatnot. Prey. Prey is an animal that is hunted by predators. So bats are predators to bugs when they hunt for them. But also you'll find in the text that there are other animals that do prey upon bats. So bats themselves are also prey. They are predators, but they also are prey to some animals. Animals that are active at night are called nocturnal. Owls are nocturnal. Bats are nocturnal. Hibernate is spending the winter asleep. Bats will hibernate because they can't find enough food when it's cold. So they just huddle up together and they go into a deep sleep for a few months. Endangered means at risk of extinction. Panda bears are at risk of extinction. We were reading an article the other day about how bees are even at risk of extinction. Pollinate. Pollinate is when pollen is spread between flowers to make new plants. So we learned yesterday how bees pollinate flowers and help produce a lot of fruits and nuts and beans. Some bats also pollinate. They are nectar-drinking bats. Predator is an animal that hunts and eats other animals. And like we said, bats are predators when they're hunting bugs. They are prey when they're being hunted by other animals, larger birds. So from that point on, I'll go ahead and I'll read the article. Keep in mind again that you're supposed to be looking for interesting facts about bats out of this article. This one's really condensed. I didn't see that one, so I'm just reading this one. I didn't realize that was exactly the same. So, there are a lot of myths about bats. They make people fear them. However, bats are very important to the ecosystems where they live. There are over 1,300 different types of bats in the world. Yes, 3 of them are called vampire bats, but none of them look like Dracula. Ha ha ha. Appearance. Remember that when we're reading informational text, this is the title. These are called sometimes subtitles or headings. I'm going to call them headings. So remember, the headings tell you what the next section that you're reading is about. So underneath this heading, appearance, I have 2 paragraphs that are going to tell me about their appearance, or it's really how they look. So I know that when I see this heading with the title Appearance, that they're going to tell me about what bats look like. Bats vary in size according to species. The smallest bat is the bumblebee bat, which is about 1.25 inches long and weighs 0.07 ounces. So it doesn't even weigh a pound. It doesn't even weigh an ounce. The largest bat is the flying fox. It can have a wingspan up to 6 feet and weighs over 2 pounds. This is the flying fox. I wonder where it got its name. Its face looks like a fox. Bats come in many different colors, but they are usually dark brown, reddish, or golden brown. Bat wings are made of a thin layer of skin stretched over long finger-like bones. Their powerful back feet have strong grips that help them hang upside down during the day while they sleep. So if you look at this picture, you can see these are actually hands. This is his little arm and his elbow. And then you can see the fingers that are spread out across the wings, helping you understand that it's not a bird. It doesn't have feathers. This is actually skin in between its fingers that it uses to fly. And there you see, like other mammals, not birds, it has fur. And a very strange looking face that's designed to help it echolocate. The next heading is diet and feeding. So automatically it tells me that this article, this paragraph, these two paragraphs are probably going to be about its diet, which means what it eats, and feeding, what does it feed on? Most bats eat insects. They fly around and use a special tool called echolocation to find their food. Echolocation works through sound. Bats make sounds only they can hear. The sounds bounce off objects around the bats and create echoes. The echoes help make a map of the area, which tells the bat how far away something is and what it is. Bats need this because they are nocturnal. They hunt at night when it is hard to see with their eyes. When bats find prey, they catch it and swallow it immediately. A lot of bats will also eat fruit, nectar, and fish. Vampire bats actually drink blood. They bite their prey and lap up the blood with their tongues. And they're actually really small, and they don't live in Texas, so you don't have to worry about that. They live in South America. Offspring. Offspring means they're babies, so I know that thanks to this heading that there's going to be these next two paragraphs are going to give me facts about their offspring or their babies. Bats usually live in big communities. The place where they live is called a roost. During the winter, bats have a special roost where they hibernate. Male and female bats often mate when they arrive at the winter roost. A female bat usually gives birth to one baby bat, called a pup, during the spring. Mother bats and their pups live together in a group away from adult male bats. The pups learn how to fly when they are 3 weeks old. They can catch their own prey when they are 6 weeks old. Predators and threats. Owls, hawks, and snakes are some of the natural predators of bats. However, the biggest threats to most bats are disease, hunting, and habitat loss. The bat is the most endangered land mammal in North America. All over the world, bats are losing their homes. Bats help take care of insect populations and pollinate fruit trees. Without bats, we wouldn't have avocados, bananas, and other foods we love. I will give you a test on this tomorrow. This is where we finally find the author's purpose in this text, or what the author actually, what their message is, how they feel about bats. They say a very positive, some positive things about bats here in this paragraph. Now again, this video will be here so you can watch it again, or you can read the articles if you'd like. Either or, you're going to be typing. Now I did leave this picture here. This is the idea of what I'm having you do, typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 facts about bats. The topic, of course, is bats. But You could either draw this on paper or you can do the Google slide. I don't really mind. Either or, you're going to write a paper about this tomorrow. So if you want to use the Google slides, you can. But it's really only for yourself. So like I said, here's the first slide just says use the text boxes in the next slide to type facts that you've learned about bats from this article, from the article. And here are the text boxes again. So just type, please type complete sentences in here again, because the idea is that you're going to use this information to then write a text about bats, and it'll have 7 boxes. Each box will be a sentence. And then the topic sentence would be, maybe I've learned many things about bats or something like that. But just for this assignment, yes, just type in a sentence of something interesting that you learned about bats. It could be as simple as bats are nocturnal animals that hunt at night. Or the world's smallest bats are called bumblebee bats and the world's largest bats are called fox. Just anyway, try to think of 6 things you can put in here. Interesting facts so that you can write an interesting informational text about bats later. That's all I have for you on here. I am going to write out your spelling words and I will take a picture of them to put on Class Dojo and then ask that you again write sentences using your spelling words so I can give you a spelling grade. And I might actually think about giving you a spelling test on the computer tomorrow, but I'm not sure. So again, thank you for watching the video. Please either use the slide or just write the sentences down on a piece of paper, either or. Just write down 6 facts that you learned about bats. Tomorrow we will be using this same article and I will give you a test in a Google form. Again, thank you for listening and watching. See you next time. Goodbye.